Hi, my name is Buckley. I go to Yorktown High School in Arlington, Virginia. For my science project this year, I did the effect of cell phone activity on detected magnetic intensity. In this experiment, I asked during what cell phone function is the most electromagnetic radiation emitted. And a little bit of background to my project. It's known that cell phones use a variety of frequencies to communicate with other devices and towers, and these frequencies are part of the electromagnetic spectrum. And there's two major types of electromagnetic radiation. There's ionizing radiation and non-ionizing radiation. And ionizing radiation is dangerous, it's the bad kind. It's helpful in some cases, such as X-rays, but it is capable of destroying cells and DNA, which can lead to cancer. The other type is non-ionizing radiation, which include low-level frequencies like radio emissions and microwaves. And these frequencies are also pretty helpful, and not much is known about the long-term effects of being exposed to low levels of these types of emissions. Okay, so the purpose of my experiment was to find which cell phone function causes the most electromagnetic radiation to be emitted. This is important because each day, an average teenage student spends about 9 hours around screens and electronic devices. And with more technology being used every day, concerns over long-term effects of non-ionizing radiation are increasing. So, in my experiment, I measured how much magnetism the cell phone produced while performing different tasks by placing an electromagnetic frequency detector at the base of my iPhone 8. I recorded the highest value observed over the 15-second running period of each trial. So, find my phone here. This is a phone. This is my detector. I set it up sort of like this, and I measured the different values on the bottom of my screen that came up. And as hopefully you'll be able to see, when I put this detector near a source, a reading comes up, and this reading is rather high. Just put it up to the light, but it's capable of measuring all sorts of frequencies. Okay, so I tested 6 levels of cell phone activity. Phone shut down, phone on airplane mode, Wi-Fi on, email application running, phone call, phone speaker on, Spotify half volume, and Spotify maximum volume. Okay. And I found that there was a significant statistical difference between the levels of my IV. However, the trend was not what I had originally believed. My initial hypothesis was not supported. Initially, I was thinking that radiation would increase as tasks became more demanding, and that was somewhat supported, but the reasoning for my initial hypothesis was that the cell phones will be communicating and sending more signals out when more demands are being used. But in this case, I made the connection that as more battery is being used, a stronger magnetic field is detected. It was observed that activities that draw significant power from the phone's battery were the only trials with a detectable magnetic influence. This result does not support my hypothesis. The findings support that cell phone radiation is not a result of communication with cell towers and other devices, rather the radiation comes as a result of the phone's own lithium-ion battery. At first I was confused, but the results suggested that as more power from the battery was drawn, the current increased, and the more current flowing through the system, the stronger the magnetic field. Upon further research, I found that Faraday's law states that electrical current flowing through wires creates a magnetic field. Through this experiment, it was determined that the same laws apply in lithium-ion batteries of cell phones. I hope my data can provide a basis for future investigations into the design of cell phones, as well as provide data for daily exposure to EMF radiation from electronic devices. Further exploration could reveal how the data changes when the cell phone battery of a phone is higher or lower, as in this case, when battery is being used frequently, the magnetism detected was notably higher and noticeable.